Deep inside the mountains of the planet Helion 9, there stood a vast volcano known as Mount Pyra. For centuries, it had slept in silence, its lava veins calm beneath layers of black rock. But recently, strange signals had begun to pulse from its heart, rhythmic, coded, and unmistakably intelligent. The United Earth Expeditionary Command sent a small research team to investigate. The team was led by Captain Mira Solon, a calm but determined human explorer known for her fearless curiosity. With her were Dr. Isaac Trent, a geologist obsessed with alien rock formations, and Lieutenant Aaron Hale, a quiet but skilled pilot and engineer. Their small ship, the Ardent Voyager, landed at the volcano's base under a red-orange sky. The air shimmered with heat and the ground rumbled softly beneath their boots. "This planet feels alive," Isaac said, scanning the rocky terrain. His sensors flickered with readings. "Something's moving under us. Something big." Mira adjusted her helmet visor, her eyes reflecting the light of the lava streams flowing through nearby cracks. "Let's hope it's not the mountain waking up," she said. "We're not here for geology alone. Command believes there's a signal source, possibly ancient tech." Aaron tapped at his wrist console. "Energy spikes inside the volcano, deep almost at the core. The readings don't match any known fusion or geothermal pattern." "Then we go find out what's calling," Mira replied firmly. They began their climb toward the volcano's crater entrance. Along the way, they found signs of artificial carvings, symbols etched into the stone, glowing faintly like molten lines. The symbols were not human, yet there was something oddly familiar about their symmetry. It was as if whoever made them had studied geometry and art in a way humans could understand. "This isn't natural," Isaac murmured, touching one of the glowing carvings. "These lines are directing energy flows. It's like the volcano itself is part of a machine." Aaron frowned. "A machine buried in a mountain, that's ancient tech on a massive scale." As they ventured deeper, the temperature rose. The air shimmered around them. Their suits' cooling systems worked overtime, humming softly. The tunnels grew narrower, leading them downward into glowing red chambers where lava flowed through metallic channels, clearly shaped, not random. Mira paused to study one of the walls. "These conduits, they're not made of rock. They're alloyed metal. Whoever built this used the volcano as a power source." Isaac's eyes widened. "You think this could be the volcano temple the early colonists mentioned? A myth of a structure built to guard something sacred? Or dangerous," Mira said quietly. They reached a massive chamber. At its center stood a colossal door of molten gold and black stone, carved with fiery patterns. The heat around it was unbearable, yet the team's suits shielded them. Above the door, an inscription glowed brighter than the rest. Aaron ran a scan. The symbols translate partially. "The system says, 'Where fire guards desire, only the pure may enter.'" Isaac laughed nervously. "That sounds like a trap." Mira tilted her head. "Or a warning." The ground trembled and a deep sound echoed through the chamber, like the roar of a living creature. Lava from nearby vents bubbled higher. The golden door began to pulse with red light. "Captain," Aaron said, his voice tense, "the energy readings are spiking. This whole place is waking up." Mira stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the glowing symbols. "Then it knows we're here." Before they could move, a fiery shape emerged from the molten pool near the door. It rose, dripping lava, taking form. A humanoid figure made of flame and stone with eyes like twin suns. It stood tall, towering over them, and yet its movements were graceful, almost ceremonial. Isaac stumbled back. "What in the stars is that?" The creature spoke, its voice like cracking embers. "You stand before the guardian of the temple. Why do you enter the realm where only the flameborn may walk?" Mira didn't flinch. "We come in peace," she said clearly. "We seek the truth of your signal." "We mean no harm." The guardian's fiery eyes studied her. "Truth? Many come seeking desire, few seek truth. The fire within this temple burns both." Aaron whispered. "Captain, it's responding to us. It understands English patterns through translation." The guardian raised one molten hand, and a path of cooled rock formed beneath Mira's feet, leading to the great door. "One among you carries a heart unbound by greed," it said. "The temple will test you. Pass through the fire, and your world shall remember your courage." Isaac looked terrified. "What happens if we fail?" "Then you become ash," the guardian answered simply. Mira turned to her team. "Stay here. If I don't come back in an hour, seal the ship and get this data to command." Aaron grabbed her arm. Captain, wait. We don't know what's in there. She gave a small, confident smile. That's why I have to go. Humanity came this far not to turn back when the unknown calls. The Guardian stepped aside, and the great golden door slowly opened, revealing a tunnel of pure flame, yet strangely, the heat didn't burn the air around it. It was controlled, like a living entity allowing passage. Mira walked forward, each step echoing against the molten floor. As she passed through the door, the flames curved around her, almost whispering as if alive. The door closed behind her with a thunderous boom. Inside, the tunnel opened into a massive chamber of light and fire, with a floating crystal suspended above a lava pool. It pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Around the chamber, mechanical arms moved slowly, maintaining energy flows. It was a fusion of technology and nature, of design and instinct. Mira approached cautiously. So this is what's calling out to us. The crystal brightened and a deep voice, not the Guardian's, spoke within her mind. Human, your kind has returned. She froze. Returned? We've never been here. The voice continued, calm and ancient. Your kind built this, long before memory was born. You were the first to awaken the flame core, and now you stand at its cradle once more. Mira felt her heart race. Humanity built this? On another world? Yes, said the voice. When your ancestors traveled the stars in light, they forged temples of fire to guard desire, the desire that drives creation itself. But desire, uncontrolled, consumes. So they hid it away, sealed by flame. The realization struck her. So the signal, it wasn't a distress call. It was a memory beacon. The crystal glowed warmly. You understand? The temple remembers its makers. But it must test their heirs. Are you worthy of the fire that creates and destroys? The ground rumbled again and streams of lava rose around the chamber. Mira stood her ground, staring up at the crystal. If humanity built this once, we can build again. We can control the fire, the voice replied. Then prove it. A blinding light filled the chamber. The floor cracked beneath her feet, and molten energy surged upward. Mira raised her arms against the glare. Her suit straining under the pressure, she shouted into the storm. I am not here for desire, I'm here for knowledge. For a moment, everything went still. Then the flames receded, leaving the chamber calm and quiet once more. The crystal floated gently before her, now glowing blue instead of red. Then you have passed the first trial, said the voice. Tell your kind the fire remembers them. But not all memories burn bright. As the golden door opened again, Mira stepped out, her armor scorched but intact. Aaron and Isaac ran to her, relief flooding their faces. What happened in there? Isaac asked breathlessly. Mira looked back at the glowing door and smiled faintly. The volcano isn't just a temple, it's a vault. And it remembers us. The Guardian's eyes dimmed slightly as if in approval. You have awakened the memory flame. The next path awaits, beyond the river of magma. Aaron sighed. There's more? Mira nodded, determination in her eyes. There's always more when fire guards the truth. And with that, the team prepared to descend deeper into the heart of the volcano, unaware that something ancient had truly begun to awaken beneath them. The tunnels beneath the volcano temple grew narrower and darker as Captain Mira Solon led her team deeper into the heart of Mount Pyra. The golden door behind them had sealed itself again, and the faint hum of the ancient machinery echoed through the air like a heartbeat. Mira's helmet light shone across the stone walls. Strange markings glowed faintly, changing color as she passed, red, orange, then blue. They seemed to react to her presence, guiding her deeper. Captain, said Lieutenant Aaron Hale, his scanner flickering with unreadable data. These readings don't make sense. The energy levels here are beyond anything human built. It's almost like... The volcano is alive. It might be, Mira replied quietly. Or maybe it remembers us. Dr. Isaac Trent, still shaken from what they had seen, followed slowly behind. If that voice was right, humans built this place millions of years ago, but how? We only started exploring other worlds a few centuries ago. Mira stopped and placed her hand on the wall. The glow beneath her palm pulsed like a living flame. Maybe we forgot, she said. Maybe this planet is part of what we lost. They continued forward until they reached a vast open space. A great bridge of obsidian and gold stretched across a river of flowing magma. The heat shimmered through the air, yet their suits' shields protected them. This must be the river of magma the Guardian mentioned, Aaron said, scanning the bridge. But look, Something's moving under the lava. They leaned closer. Dark shapes flowed beneath the molten surface, mechanical serpents glowing faintly with blue energy. Their metallic bodies swam through the fire like living creatures. Occasionally one would rise briefly, showing a shining face covered in glowing lines, then dive back into the magma. Isaac took a step back. Guardians again. Only these are not made of stone, they're machines. They're watchers, Mira said calmly, protecting the next part of the temple. We go one step at a time. Stay on the bridge. The team began to cross slowly. Every few meters, the bridge trembled as if testing their resolve. The heat waves grew thicker, and the air filled with deep rumbling sounds, almost like voices whispering in an ancient tongue. Halfway across, one of the serpents rose directly before them, blocking their path. Lava dripped from its metallic scales as it spoke in a deep, echoing tone. Who carries the memory flame? Mira took a step forward. I do. The serpent's glowing eyes scanned her. You bear the mark. The flame accepts you, but your companions are untested. Their hearts must be measured in fire. Aaron stiffened. What does that mean? Without warning, beams of red light shot from the serpent's eyes, surrounding the three humans in a glowing circle. The heat intensified and the stone under their feet began to glow. Isaac panicked. It's going to burn us alive. Mira raised her voice. Stay calm. It's not trying to kill us, it's reading us. Inside the red circle, each of their suits began to project holograms. The lights formed images, memories pulled from their minds. Aaron saw his younger self fixing broken ships back on Luna Station. Isaac saw his years of digging through alien ruins, chasing mysteries. And Mira saw herself standing before the Earth Command, swearing to seek truth beyond fear. The serpent's voice filled the air again. The fire sees. Desire drives you all. One seeks knowledge, one seeks mastery, one seeks truth. All are flames, but only one burns pure. The light faded. The serpent lowered its head. You may pass. The bridge stopped trembling. The path ahead lit up, golden lines guiding the way. Aaron exhaled. That was the worst job interview I've ever had. Mira smiled faintly. It was a test of purpose. Fire doesn't just destroy, it reveals what's inside. They reached the end of the bridge and entered another tunnel. The air cooled slightly and the walls changed from glowing rock to smooth metal, ancient but clearly engineered. Symbols etched into the panels depicted humans surrounded by flames, holding crystals that glowed like stars. Isaac stared in awe. Look at this. It's showing humans building something, maybe the flame core itself. Mira studied the carvings. It's like a history book written in light. The next chamber opened into a massive circular room filled with tall metallic pillars. Between the pillars floated glowing spheres moving slowly like planets in orbit. At the center of the chamber was a raised platform with a crystal pedestal, identical to the one Mira had seen earlier. But this one was dark, unlit. Aaron tapped his wrist console. Captain, there's a massive energy reservoir beneath this floor. It's dormant but stable. Isaac knelt beside the pedestal, brushing off layers of dust. There's an inscription here, he said. It reads, Here rests the memory of the first flame. Only humanity may rekindle it. Mira frowned. The first flame? That must be the source of all this. Isaac nodded. Maybe it's like a power core. If we activate it, we could access the temple's main system. Maybe even learn who built it. Aaron hesitated. Or we might blow ourselves up. Before Mira could decide, a deep rumble shook the room. The floating orbs began to spin faster, their light brightening. A holographic figure appeared in the center of the chamber, a woman made of pure fire and light, wearing ancient armor shaped like early human designs. She looked at Mira directly. You have awakened the Temple of Fire. Mira stepped forward. Who are you? The fiery woman's voice echoed softly. I am Seraphis, keeper of the flame. I was created by the first builders, humans who once walked among the stars when your kind were gods of light. Isaac gasped. So it's true. Humanity built all this. Seraphis nodded. Long ago, humans discovered that desire, the will to create, to explore, to love, was the same force that powers the universe. They called it the flame of existence. But when that desire turned into greed and war, they sealed it within this world, guarded by machines of fire, until humanity could learn balance again. Mira listened carefully. And now it calls to us because we're ready? Seraphus's fiery eyes softened, or because it fears extinction. The temple's power is fading. The flame core must be reignited or all that was will vanish into ash. Aaron frowned. So you want us to restart an ancient energy core inside a volcano? That sounds safe. Seraphus smiled faintly. Fire is never safe, but it listens to those who understand it. She extended a hand made of glowing light. A small ember drifted toward Mira's palm, resting there like a living spark. Take this flame. It holds the memory of the builders. Use it to awaken the core. The spark sank into Mira's hand, glowing through her glove. She felt warmth, not pain, but something alive, pulsing with energy. Follow the final path, Seraphus said. Beyond this chamber lies the heart of the volcano. There you will find the core and face the last guardian. The hologram faded, and silence filled the room once more. Aaron muttered, Every time she says guardian, I know it's going to be bad. Isaac chuckled nervously. At least it's not another test of purity. I'm running out of bravery. Mira looked at them both. We've come this far. We'll finish what we started. They moved toward a spiral staircase that led down into the glowing depths. The deeper they went, the louder the sound of molten energy became, a slow, rhythmic hum that vibrated through their bodies. After what felt like hours, they reached a huge cavern where a massive sphere of molten light floated above a lake of fire. Around it stood colossal machines shaped like wings, moving slowly as if breathing. Aaron whispered, That must be the flame core. But before they could move closer, the magma around the platform began to rise. From it emerged another figure, taller than the guardian before, its body made of swirling plasma and metal armor shaped like a crown of fire. Its voice shook the chamber. Who dares awaken the heart of creation? Mira stepped forward, her palm glowing faintly with the ember Seraphus had given her. I do. Humanity has returned to claim its memory. The creature studied her for a long moment. The last time your kind touched the flame, you burned worlds. What makes you worthy now? Mira held her ground. Because we've learned. Fire doesn't just destroy, it gives life. It's time we remember both. The guardian's molten eyes flared. Then let your flame be tested once more. Only the heart that burns for others may relight the core. The floor cracked open, revealing a path of glowing platforms leading toward the sphere. Lava surged below. The challenge had begun. Aaron looked at Mira nervously. Captain, this looks like suicide. Mira smiled faintly. Then it's the perfect place to prove humanity still has heart. With the ember's glow lighting her way, she stepped onto the first platform as the ancient machines stirred to life, their eyes burning like stars. The final trial had begun. The platforms across the lava lake glowed like stepping stones of molten light. Captain Mirasolin stood at the edge, staring at the flame core. A gigantic sphere of living fire floating in the center of the cavern. The heat radiating from it was intense, yet the ember Seraphus had placed in her hand pulsed softly, protecting her. Behind her, Lieutenant Aaron Hale and Dr. Isaac Trent watched with worry and awe. Aaron said, Captain, that guardian looks ready to turn us into ash. Isaac added, This place feels like the inside of a star. One wrong move and we're done. Mira turned to them and gave a calm nod. We came to find the truth, not to run from it. Stay close, and no matter what happens, remember this. The flame listens to courage. The colossal guardian, its body made of swirling fire and molten metal, raised its arms. The ground trembled. Human, it said, its voice deep as thunder. The test begins. Show me the fire that drives your kind. The platform started shifting and glowing brighter. Mira took the first step forward. The moment her boot touched the platform, a burst of light shot into the air, forming illusions around her, memories, feelings, echoes of the human spirit. The first illusion appeared as a burning battlefield, humans building and destroying, fighting among themselves, their cities turning to smoke. The guardian's voice thundered, This is what your fire creates, destruction and sorrow. Why should the flame trust you again? Mira's voice echoed over the heat. Because that's not all we are. Fire destroys, yes, but from the ashes we rebuild. That's what makes us human. As she spoke, the illusion changed. From the ruins, small green sprouts grew. Children laughed. The light of rebirth filled the scene. The guardian paused, silent for a moment, then gestured again. A second illusion appeared, this time showing humans exploring the stars, landing on new worlds, some thriving, others dying. You spread across the stars, said the Guardian. But you take and take. You claim the fire of others. You burn the sky to light your own. Mira stepped forward again, her steps slow but sure. Maybe, but we also learn. We explore not to conquer, but to understand. Every world teaches us something new. Every mistake makes us better. Her words echoed through the chamber, and the illusion shifted again. It now showed scientists sharing knowledge, explorers helping alien civilizations, and humans working together to heal damaged planets. The Guardian's fiery eyes dimmed slightly, as if in thought. Aaron and Isaac watched in silent awe as Mira continued across the shifting platforms, her armor shining in the reflected light of molten rivers. The third illusion appeared, this time smaller and more personal. It showed Mira as a young cadet on Earth staring at the stars. Her mother's voice whispered, "The universe is full of danger, but remember, every flame begins with a spark. Be that spark, Mira." Mira smiled faintly. "We aren't perfect, but we don't give up. That's our greatest fire, the fire to keep trying." The Guardian's voice softened. "Then show me that fire." The platforms began to crumble behind her. Streams of lava rose, cutting off any retreat. Aaron shouted, "Captain! The bridge, it's collapsing." Mira didn't turn back. She leapt to the next glowing platform, then the next. The ember in her hand blazed brighter with every step. When she reached the final platform before the core, the Guardian raised its burning sword, blocking her way. "Last question," it said, lowering its massive head to her level. "What is it you truly desire, human?" The air grew still. Even the lava stopped bubbling for a moment. Mira looked at the Guardian's blazing eyes. "We desire to live with purpose, to learn, to build, and to protect what we love. Not to rule the fire, but to carry it so the dark never wins." The Guardian studied her in silence, the flames flickering softly like a heartbeat. Then slowly it stepped aside. "Then light the core, child of Earth. The flame remembers your kind." Mira walked forward to the edge of the floating platform. The flame core pulsed before her, a sphere of energy so bright it almost looked alive. She raised her hand and the ember in her palm flared, glowing like a small sun. She took a deep breath. "Let's bring the fire home." The ember left her hand and floated toward the core. The moment it touched the surface, a shockwave of light burst outward. The entire chamber shook. Aaron and Isaac shielded their eyes as the molten walls blazed with golden light. The machines around the cavern awakened, gears turning, energy channels flowing like rivers of light. The flame core transformed, no longer wild and red, but golden white, warm, calm, alive. The heat in the air softened, and the lava began to cool into shining crystal. The Guardian kneeled before Mira. "The flame accepts you. Humanity's fire burns with balance once more." Seraphis's voice echoed through the cavern, her holographic form appearing beside the core. "You have done what even the builders feared to do. The fire has been reborn, not as a weapon, but as a memory of creation." Mira's face glowed in the light. "What happens now?" "The flame will spread again," said Seraphis. "Its warmth will reach worlds long forgotten. You have restored the connection between your kind and the fire that made you." Aaron grinned, shaking his head. "Captain, you just relit the heart of an ancient star. You realize that, right?" Isaac laughed softly. "Humanity really was something amazing. Maybe we still are." Mira looked around, watching as the once-dead machines began to hum with new energy. Streams of golden light flowed through the walls, forming shapes, images of humans from long ago, smiling, creating, discovering. Seraphis turned to Mira one last time. "The temple will remain here, a guardian of balance. But its message is yours to carry. Go, and remind your world what the flame truly means." With that, her image faded. A large circular platform rose beneath the team, lifting them upward through the layers of the volcano. The path glowed softly, and for the first time the air was cool. They emerged near the crater, where the first light of dawn was breaking over the planet's sky. Mount Pyra no longer rumbled with anger. It shone like a beacon, golden streams flowing down its slopes. Aaron removed his helmet, breathing in the warm, fresh air. "We made it, Captain. And the volcano didn't kill us. I'm counting that as a win." Isaac smiled, looking at the mountain below. "We didn't just survive. We brought something back. Hope." Mira looked up at the brightening sky, her expression calm and proud. "No, the fire brought us back. Humanity didn't find an ancient power, we remembered what we always had. She activated her communicator. This is Captain Mira Solon of the Ardent Voyager. Mission complete. The signal from Helion 9 has been decoded. It wasn't a warning, it was a welcome. There was a pause, then Command's voice came through full of disbelief. Captain Solon, repeat that? Mira smiled faintly. The flame remembers humanity, and it's waiting for us to light the stars again. As the ship lifted off from the Volcano's base, golden light spread across the horizon. For a moment it looked like dawn itself was answering the call of the newly awakened flame. Inside the Ardent Voyager, the crew watched the surface glow fade into the distance. The data logs recorded everything, the symbols, the voices, the energy readings, all proof that humanity's history reached further than anyone had ever dreamed. Aaron leaned back in his seat. So what now, Captain? Mira's eyes sparkled. Now, we take the flame home. We show Earth what it means to create again. The ship's engines roared softly, carrying them upward into the stars. Behind them, Mount Pyra stood silent once more. But this time, it wasn't sleeping. It pulsed gently, a heart of light beating within the planet's crust. A quiet promise remained in the air, a reminder that fire, when guided by wisdom, could guard life as fiercely as it once guarded desire. As the Ardent Voyager disappeared into the starlit sky, the flame whispered across the void of space, touching distant worlds, carrying with it the memory of humanity, not as conquerors but as keepers of the eternal fire.